In this video, we're going to take a look at some memes and a video that are posted by some random creationist named Gary Robakoff, who hides behind fake names and fake accounts on Facebook and YouTube.
According to peer review articles and the truth, Lucy has never had a knee.
Okay, Lucy's fossil doesn't have a knee, but no one has ever said Lucy didn't have a knee.
The human knee is the only knee on the face of the planet that locks for upright walking. Well, animals do walk upright. This is the only knee that looks like this with this type of locking mechanism.
Alive today.
This human knee was found 1 million years in the geological column below Lucy.
Not quite.
It is the oldest human fossil ever found using the geological column.
That you don't believe
To
in.
assume that that knee belongs to a monkey is pseudoscience. There is no monkey that has ever had a knee that locks.
And no one has ever considered Lucy a monkey. So where did he get the idea that people think that this was actually a human knee? Well, it comes from a 1997 Nova documentary titled In Search of Human Origins, Part 1, The Story of Lucy. Here's the part that confused him.
At first, I thought it was just from a monkey, maybe a baboon, but it went together in a way that didn't look like any monkey. If it wasn't a monkey's knee, what was it? It looked human, but how could that be? I needed an expert opinion. Owen Lovejoy is an anatomist, part-time forensic scientist, and an expert on animal locomotion. If anyone could tell me what sort of creature that knee belonged to, he could.
When Don brought the Hadar knee back from Ethiopia, he brought it over to my house and laid it out on the living room carpet. And I knew instantly that was a human knee.
My suspicions were confirmed. As Lovejoy pointed out, the joint had all the hallmarks of a creature that moved around on two legs, not on all fours. Walking upright is something that only humans can do, and it needs a special kind of knee joint. One that can be locked straight.
I can see how a creationist might become confused, but the knee has always been attributed to the species Australopithecus afarensis, never Homo sapiens, let alone modern humans. Its scientific name is AL129-1. And while Owen Lovejoy said it looked like a human knee, that doesn't mean it belongs to any species of human, let alone Homo sapiens. If you ask him or any other paleoanthropologist today what species the AL129 knee belongs to, they will tell you Australopithecus afarensis. Every single time. Now, this guy also had a problem with the slide from my debate with Kent Hovind last year. He put this in his video. It's because it says her species is represented by fossils from over 400 individuals.
Well, that's quite a claim there, Bill. Your 400 individual Australopithecus africanus.
Good day, mate.
You make it sound like they're whole skeletons. Well, there on the pool table is your 400 individual bone pieces.
Exactly. Fossils from over 400 individuals.
That is not a whole lot of support for Lucy.
Actually, it is a ton of evidence. And I never claimed 400 skeletons. I said 400 fossils from different individuals. The fact is, we could probably recreate Lucy and more out of just these fossils without even using her bones. He also had a problem with this part of the debate and used it in his video. Lucy was not a knuckle walker. Knuckle walking evolved after our split with our common ancestor. We see differences in the type of knuckle walking between chimps and gorillas. There's no evidence.
Eventually, after more careful study, even the evolution-believing scientists were forced to conclude that Lucy was a knuckle-dragging Australopithecine ape and that she could not possibly have made the Litola footprints.
The second part of that was an outright lie. It's just some video put out by young Earth creationists. Several studies have been published that confirm scientists believe that the Laetoli footprints were made by Australopithecus afarensis. Let's see what Donald Johanson himself has to say about it.
Irrefutable proof, I think, of the footprint trail at Laetoli is another piece of evidence. Well, you know that we could sit down together in a lab and determine whether or not Lucy walked on all fours as a knuckle walker. There would be telltale features in the hands and the wrists, and they're not there. You look at the pelvis. That pelvis, sure, it's not exactly identical to our own, but biomechanically, it shows that she and her species walked much like we do. And what is unfortunate is that many of the people who do not accept evolution as the best explanation, the best mechanism, the best paradigm in which to understand the diversity of life on this planet, insinuate that we are making these things up. What evidence would it take to convince them? But now the consensus in the field of paleoanthropology is yes, in fact, Australopithecus afarensis was walking upright at 3.6 million years.
Speaking of making things up, see that skull? That's not Lucy, that's a modern chimpanzee. This guy is just making things up.
So you get the picture?
Yeah, we get the picture, Gary. We'll end this video with some inspirational words from Donald Johanson.
Do I get lots of pushback from people who question the idea of evolution, and particularly the idea that humans did not evolve, that humans were a unique, divinely created creature? And yes, and it's unfortunate, particularly in the United States, supposedly one of the more progressive countries in the world, that there is such a large number of people who are unwilling to accept this evidence. To denigrate our science, I think, is to do a great disservice to people who are really people with an open mind. Yes, we get pushback, but we should be well educated enough to be able to sit down with a person and to convey to them how this idea of evolution works. It is not a threat to them or their beliefs. It is a way of understanding through the lens of science why the natural world is the way it is.
I said don't take everybody for your friend. Oh, don't take everybody to be your friend. You just bear this in mind, that a true friend is hard to find. Please don't take everybody for your friend.